Marco Roveda, founder of LifeGate. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Please.
So here we are. Well, since 1978, I've been working on sustainability. And I've been trying to spread this idea of respecting the environment and human beings. The world population has grown in the last 50 years from 2.5 billion people to 7.8 billion people, meaning that there's been a 300% increase. This is incredible. And this has had a huge impact on the planet, an impact that we are discussing today, but we can see, but that we can also see directly, so that a new fundamental need has emerged. We've always had to eat, to drink, to sleep, and to find shelter, but we now also need to preserve the balance of the ecosystem. The first industrial revolution was in 1750, and it was the steam industrial revolution. The second industrial revolution was the oil and steel revolution in 1870. The third industrial revolution was communication, mid-90s of the 20th century, and this has allowed people around the world to be informed and has transformed people into active players. All businesses need to have a direct link, a direct relationship with consumers today. We've seen this in major events, and sustainability has been at the center, the forefront of these major events lately, for example, of Expo 2050 in Milan. But at the basis of it all, there are people, because the market actually aligns itself with what people buy, and politics does what people vote for. Meaning that it is people who can decide and who have a say. It is really common people who have an impact, meaning that we also have a responsibility. So if things do not work, it's our fault. But let's start from an analysis of the market. The 50s and 60s were the years of making products accessible. In the 60s and 70s, products had to be of good quality, had to be good products in order to be sold. In the 70s and 80s, aesthetics had a role. Design emerged as an important factor. So in the 80s, the product had to be there, had to have a good quality, and had to be beautiful. In the 80s and 90s, and a further focus was on health and safety. These were the years of healthy food and safe products. The biological food, and Fattoria Scaldasole, that was the company that I launched in the 80s, was focusing very much on health. This is where the organic market actually originated from. And we were really the champion of that market. And after that, 50 to 60,000 companies in Italy have followed our leadership, and so that today we are leaders in organic production. In the 90s, fair and sustainable are the new buzzwords. So this is the simple summary of a perfect product: accessible, good, beautiful, healthy or safe, and then sustainable or fair. What should businesses do? It needs to focus on energy consumption, energy efficiency. It needs to raise awareness among staff. It needs to use sustainable suppliers. It needs to rethink its organization and goals. It has to avail itself of good communication system. It has to work on the palette of products that they're offering, and they have to work on their marketing system and communication effort. The last element, the most important element, are people. They are the main actor, the main factor for change in the system. How are people going to be? People are increasingly setting their eyes on these new values, living out one's emotions, finding a meaning, a purpose to life, consuming consciously, respecting the ecosystem, all forms of life, wishing for a fulfilling job, being honest to oneself and others, doing what is good, choosing real friends, and living life in joy. Seem very simple things, trivial things, but if we managed to live according to these principles, we would really find the path towards happiness, being good people, achieving well-being that has nothing to do with possessing products and goods. Next slide. Society. Society is changing. And we are shifting, we're moving from a socio-economic access in our values towards a new level, a completely different reference system, where we are aware of the social dimension. And you can see it here in the engagement of Italians. At LifeGate, together with Umetra, we've carried out this survey on the Italian population. And you see that things are evolving. We started out in 2015. And the share of passionate people and engaged people, people who had already changed, aligned their life to the principles of sustainability, made up 43% of the population. That share has been increasing to 72%. People who were not interested in 2015 were the majority, something around 65% of the population. If you consider that only 43% of the population felt involved, today they only make up 24% of the population, people who are not interested in sustainability. Because the importance of sustainability is clear to everybody.
Great. Well, you've just depicted a future humanism, right?
Exactly, a new renaissance, if we get there, because there are different trends. On the one hand, we have a struggle, a tendency towards extinction. But there's also the struggle to become a real human being, a civilized human being. These two trends are both taking shape right now, and we'll see how things end.
Wonderful. Thanks very much to Marco Roveda, founder of LifeGate.